have always dreamt of being a soccer girl. Like, I wanted to be a soccer girl so bad. My mom says that she has a video of her being pregnant of me. You can see my legs and like my limbs pushing out of her stomach. I was just meant to be a dancer. Hello, welcome back to SOMOS a podcast. I'm Angelita, your host. Today I'm really excited because we're going to be getting into the topic of dance, literally my favorite topic ever. I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for forever, and I'm going to kind of go through the story of dance and how important it is in my life and just like what dance means to me, and also like my journey with dance and how it's just like informed so much of my identity and how I just live in this life, and also like my purpose and how I feel like God has guided me to be where I am now. And I feel so happy, and I feel like dance has been such a big tool in allowing me to, one, find myself in many ways, and then also like find my identity in Christ and find my identity in God leading me exactly where I'm meant to be, and how He uses my passion and like these tools to further glorify Him. First of all, I hope you're having a blessed day, and I hope that you're having an amazing summer. Today, as you're watching this, is officially the start of the World Cup. I'm literally so excited. I love the World Cup so much. I just filmed a like outfit inspo. This is like one of the tops. So I feel like you can go very Jersey, like living in your like team's shirts and jerseys and stuff, or you can go like color and just like based off of like whatever your country's colors are. Anyways, that's a total side topic, but that kind of also takes me into a conversation that I constantly have with one of my cousins, that I have always dreamt of being a soccer girl. Like, I wanted to be a soccer girl so bad, and I just like was not meant for that world. I have 4 brothers, and all of them play soccer. They like have been playing soccer since forever. And I was in soccer from 3 years old until like 6th grade. So I don't know how many years that is, but that's like kind of a long time. And I did not enjoy it. I was literally doing arabesques and just like living my best life, dancing on the field or enjoying the snack after the game. Like, I would be tired of running and I'd go to the coach and be like, can I be goalie? Like, I'm so like, why am I here? And it was just like, the only thing getting me through was that there was a snack after the game. I was always meant to be a dancer. I started dancing in an official like dance class at 3 years old, which I feel like is pretty typical, normal in terms of like this like US, Georgia society of dancers. Like, you pretty much get into a dance class at 3 and you literally never stop. But I feel like I've been dancing since literally the womb. My mom says that she has a video of her being pregnant of me, and there's a sheet over her belly, and you can see my legs and like my limbs pushing out of her stomach. Like, I'm so sorry that I put you through that, Mom. I was just meant to be a dancer, and obviously I wanted more room than your belly. So literally sorry about that. But I just love dancing. My mom put me in pre-K, and they had a yoga class in the preschool, and I would come home and I loved showing my mom all the moves that I learned, and I was like, oh, we did this and that. And so I would just show her all the moves and things that I like learned in yoga class at pre-K, literally at like 2 and 3 years old. And then she said that she was looking for a yoga class for kids because I was so into it. Like, I love the flexibility and all these things. And I feel like I was pretty flexible at a young age, which was so helpful for me. But there was no yoga classes for a 3-year-old, so she put me in ballet instead. And I literally never quit since. I have been in a dance class since I was 3 years old. I'm 25 now, so that's literally 22 years. Is that 22? Yeah, I guess 23 because I'm literally about to be 26. That's insane. I'm about to be 26. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, that's a whole different topic of like, whatever. That's so crazy. I started dancing, and I was just like in a ballet and jazz class. And then I feel like once I was in fourth grade, I started competing. So once I was in fourth grade, I started competing. At the studio that I was at, it was very recreational, and we competed, but at like the lowest level because we didn't have that many hours. So how dance competitions work, it's like based off of how many hours you practice during the week. So we were at like the lower level, and I loved it. I loved it so much. We also did the Nutcracker. I was so excited because I got like Fritz when I was like older, which is so silly. And then I was like always wanted to be the Sugar Plum and like all like the cool tea, like those. Okay, anyways. I always wanted to be in the Nutcracker and like be bigger roles. So whenever I got Fritz, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm basically famous. I'm the one that caused the whole Nutcracker because I broke the Nutcracker. And that was like a fun time. But then it was like seventh grade, and I was really feeling underestimated, I guess. And I feel like that was like a big part of my journey with dance. Like I loved it so much. But one, at the studio that I started dancing at, once we started competing, we have different like companies, and I think it was like A, B, C, D, E. Like, I don't know. I feel like there were letters, and I was in the A company, but my birthday's in the summer. So I was the oldest or older one in the A company, but the people in my grade were in B company. And so it was like sixth or seventh grade, and I started feeling like, okay, I love that I'm the best one in my level, but I feel like I'm not pushing myself that much. Like I want to be dancing more. I want to get to like the next level. So I was literally like 10, 12, and I went up to my dance director at the time and I was like, hey, I want to be in this company and da 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 da. Or maybe I was in B company. I don't remember. Anyways, So I go to the director and I was like, hey, I want to be in this company. Those are the girls in my grade. And in my head, I was like saying all these like eloquent words and like proving myself and like saying all these things, right? And she was just like kind of like nodded and smiled and was like, okay, like whatever, Angelita, or Angelita, they called me. Like, okay, like la la la. And in that moment, I was talking to my mom, I think on the way home, and I was like, I want to be in C company, but I'm in B company, and I'm really, like, I just, like, want to push myself, and I feel like I'm being underestimated. And my mom was like, well, maybe I can make a meeting with the director, like, I can send an email, and I was so adamant. I don't know why. I feel like it was because I have 4 brothers, and I always want to, like, prove myself, and just, like, no, it's fine, like, I got this. So I was like, no, Mom, you don't have to do anything. I'm going to prove myself. If I make the audition and she still puts me in the lower company, then that's where I deserve to be. Like, no sugarcoating or nothing. Like, it just, like, it is what it is. Like, you make what you are. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want my mom to, like, give her gifts and then, like, or donate or, like, something, and then it'd be, like, that's the reason that you got into a higher company. So I was like, no, it's okay. I will talk to the director, and I did, and then it was still at that time, like I still felt like I needed more and I needed a change. One of my cousins was at a different studio, and I looked it up, and my mom was like, okay, they're a little bit more legit. So let's see if you can make it and like see what it's all about. So I go to that studio for the audition, and tell me why I was in culture shock. Like the studio that I grew up at was very leotard, tights, and then put like an outfit on over your leotard and tights for jazz class or for like whatever, lyrical. Like I literally only did ballet, jazz, and lyrical. And most of the year was just like dedicated on learning a dance and not dedicated on technique, which is like such a big difference. I go to this audition, and I literally wouldn't even wear hairspray in my hair. Like I just like did like a bun, which like it was fine, but no, you need hairspray, you need pins. Like I didn't know that was the vibe. So I get into the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl, like I'm literally still friends with her. She's the sweetest person ever. She's so funny. And I literally will tell her this all the time. But she was freaking out about the amount of hairspray she had, like if she had enough hairspray in her hair. And tell me why. I didn't even have one spray, and she was like, select. Sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, what was that? Anyways, she was like super slick back. Like her hair was like so perfectly done. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's freaking out of if she has enough hairspray. I don't even have any hairspray in my hair. So I literally go to the bathroom. I like put water and I was like, okay. And then I go to the audition. The audition was okay. I wasn't like my best, mainly because again, we would learn ballet through like sometimes bar, but really it was like the dance. So I knew things and I remember dance and like I remember classes, and there's like a lot of formative technique things from my first studio that I'm very grateful for. And there's so many like memories that I have, and like even learning pas de chat, like I specifically remember her saying like, imagine there's a candle on the floor and you have to jump over it with passe passe. And I still think about that, like, which is so cute. Like I remember those like little things. And I remember one time I had my right split since forever. And I remember doing my split and we would have to go one by one. This is at my first studio, right? We'd have to go one by one to the center of the room and do our split on, she had like a tape, like a duct tape in the middle. And so we'd have to do our split in the center, one person at a time. So I remember doing my split and she was like, see, and like use me as like a positive example. And I just like really remembered that. So that actually is like such a good reflection of like positive affirmation for my students, because that really stuck with me. Okay, anyways, so we did the audition at this new studio and I was like, wow, that was different, but like I was able to do it fine. And then we did the jazz portion, contemporary and all that. And tell me why, girl. Again, I still remember it was a pink t-shirt from my brother's soccer with like Nike, not pros, but like, you know, those like Nike shorts that everybody used to wear. What were they called? I don't remember, but like the Nike shorts, the ones that were like loose, like for runners. So I wore those over my jazz clothes or my ballet clothes, and we did the combinations and stuff, but I was not used to learning a combination so fast and like just like all these like literally culture shock. Also, I'm wearing a t-shirt and like these runner shorts, and all the girls in there like in their matching sets, like super cute, like their little bras, their little shorts, like literally adorable. So I remember being like, whoa, this is so different than what I'm used to, but you know, maybe this will be like a good challenge or whatever. The director said that I had potential and that she would put me in their company. And then that meant that I had to cancel and like quit at the current studio that I was at. And I loved my studio because it was so homey. It was like so precious. Like I love them so much. Like all the girls were so nice. Like we were all friends. Like we had grown up dancing together. Like I still follow a lot of them and I'm like obsessed with them. Like they're the sweetest girls ever. So it was so hard for me to be like, oh my gosh, I'm quitting and I'm going to a different studio. And my mom was like, well, if you want to keep growing, like you have to move and you have to make the best decision for yourself. That's what I did. So I told my friends that I was quitting and I was so sad. And it felt like the biggest decision ever. Like, I don't know if anybody else understands this, but like it was such a big choice because it's like school. Like if you're moving or something and your parents kind of have it in your control or like it's out of your control, it's like in your parents' hands or something, like that's really hard. And yeah, I just can't imagine, like that must be so difficult to like change schools and like change like environments and everything, because you know, it's just a lot for a kid to go through. But this was in my hands. I had to decide, am I moving to studios? Like, is this like the right decision? Like, I'm going to be really bad at the other studio and da-da-da-da. So it was a hard decision. But anyways, I still made the choice and I was like, we're moving studios and that's just that. So I started taking summer classes that year at the new studio, and it was, again, really hard. And that year, I was in 8th grade, and it was one of the hardest, most challenging experiences I've ever been through. Honestly, those 5 years at Studio 23 were so hard for me because I constantly felt underestimated, mainly because of my own insecurities and also like my underdog like mentality, because I came from this other studio that was like so homey. I was the best in my company because I was like one of the older ones, and then I go to this other studio. I'm the older one in the company, but I'm the worst one in the company. And this like technique style, like all these different things, they were just so new to me. And not even just the dance technique style, but also like the aesthetics, like of what to wear, how to wear it, how to do your hair. And obviously I'm Mexican. I'm Mexicana. I just like, I have thick hair. Have a little bit more curves than like maybe my fellow neighbors. And it was so hard to like get accustomed to the aesthetic in terms of like vibes for dancing, and then also vibes for like what to wear, how to wear it, and like what's cool, what's not cool. And yeah, that was just like a lot, and it was a like hard time, but I'm very grateful for myself for going through that and like making that decision literally in middle school that has fully changed my life for the better. Again, total, like all respect to everybody. Like I love everybody. So this is never any shade to anyone with like my conversations and like how I felt in the moment, but it's just the reality of how I felt. And I'm just so grateful for these experiences because I feel like I'm stronger and better than I would have been if I would have stayed at that other studio and just like stayed in my comfort zone. So middle school me, thank you for pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and just like trying something new. So yeah, that first year was hard, but the thing that kept pushing me to go is that I love dance. Like I love dance so much. I enjoy it. It's so fun. And then also like the days that I didn't want to go, my parents, they didn't give me a freaking choice. Like I was going, like they paid for that class, you're going. And I was going, like there was literally no option. I remember only one time missing dance class. And it was because I like hit my head or something. And my mom was like, okay. I was like, I don't feel good. My head just really hurts. Like, can I just not go to dance today? That was the only time my mom was like, okay, you don't have to go to dance class today. And other than that, if I was tired, even if my head hurt, but like that time was like a special time because I literally like, I think I fell, like something happened and I was like unwell. So I was like, okay, today I will accept that you do not go to dance. But if my head hurt, if my stomach hurt, if I had too much homework, literally there was never a time that mom was like, yes, you're allowed to miss dance. Like I would go every single day. The times that my mom was like, you're not allowed to go to dance is like, if it was a holy day of obligation, like I'm Catholic. So if it was a holy day of obligation, we were gonna go to mass, and like I would either leave dance early or I just wouldn't go if like mass was like in the time of dance classes, or if it was like a very special family occasion or something that she would be like, okay, let's ask if you can miss and this, because they were so strict, especially at the new studio, like of missing dance, like you cannot miss class, like you cannot miss. And it makes sense, like if you miss and you're like, it's just not fair. Like everybody needs to be working hard, putting in the same amount of work so that we can all be in the same team. And if you're not showing up, then that's just like unacceptable. So I think what was hard also for me was that being Mexican, we value celebrations so much and like being with family. And there were so many times that like rehearsal was on a Saturday or Sunday, or like even competitions or like mass, like so many things that were so important for my mom and like our family is showing up for each other, like first communion, baptism, quinceañera, like so many life events and like very important moments that I'm very grateful for. They instilled in like showing up for your family. So when dance would like be in the same times of my family things, it was such a hard time for me because I felt like I was letting down my family. I felt like I was letting down dance. And it was always this like struggle of, okay, I value my position on this team and I want to show up fully for this because this is what I want. And like, I love dance. And then the other side of it of like, but this is my family and I want to show up for them. And it felt really crappy. Like I remember there was like, especially in high school, I would always get to all the parties late. I would always like miss or be like, oh, where's Emio? She's at dance. Where's Emio? She's at dance. And like, there's certain trips or like certain things that I left left early for just for dance or for like a 2-hour rehearsal, which in hindsight, like I understand the commitment of it, but on the other side, I'm like, why? Why? Like it just, I felt so crappy on both sides. Like my dance teachers would make me feel crappy for missing. And then my family, I would feel crappy like missing that too. So, or having to leave early, like from either one. So to me, that was the hardest part because I felt like all of these different cultural things were conflicting. So the American dance culture and then the American dance aesthetic and then my Hispanic Mexican family and culture and then my Mexican family and like body image culture. And like these two things like are such different types of aesthetics. And it was a constant fight in my brain to like have to separate them. And my dream was always to just go to a dance class and they be playing like Bad Bunny or Aventura or Duelo or like Intocable or just like any of those, or Rosas, like all these like old school like dance, like just like amazing songs. Like I always wanted to just walk into a dance studio and they be playing that. But then we also have like, the cute aesthetics of just like being Latina and just like being proud to have my curly thick hair or like big buns. Like my buns were always like so massive compared to like my dance friends or like, and I was never ashamed, which I'm very grateful for my parents because they always instilled like pride in who you are and our culture and our religion. And like, I never felt ashamed for it, which I'm so grateful for. But it is such a conflicting thing to go through in like your formative years to be like, okay, I'm Mexican, I have thick eyebrows, like I have a little bit thicker legs and like body than like these dancers. And then also like the ballet aesthetic is like so like, prima ballerina, very thin, very long, very like all these things. And then also like the dancer competitive aesthetic is a little bit different than that. Like you want strong like muscles and legs and flat stomachs and all these. And like, I'm just like kind of like, I don't know what I want. And like, in dance, like I feel like I'm fat and like big and huge. And then in society, like my tias are saying that I'm skinny, but I don't feel skinny because like so it was like, and I still literally have to like constantly calm these like thoughts. But honestly, like that's what has helped me so much with my path and like where I want to head in the future and like how I show up for my dancers and how I show up for just like being a leader in the space. So after high school, I graduated. And again, that same feeling of like, okay, what's so sad? I always felt like once I was in high school, probably like, I don't know. I feel like it really was like more prominent my junior and senior year of high school, but I felt undeserving and unworthy of dance. Like I hated my body and I judged myself so much and I wasn't in like the top dances at my studio and I wasn't like, I always felt underestimated and I felt like I offered more and I could do more, but I needed to be challenged. But I felt like I wasn't given those opportunities all the time and just like all these like conflicting thoughts. And when I was a senior in high school, I was deciding like where I was going to go to college, what was like my path, and like education and school testing and all that was like also not my vibe. Like I was a good student, like always A's, B's, but like pretty good like I was like good, but I was not like, I wouldn't consider myself like very smart in terms of like test taking and like all these things. Like I really have to like apply myself to be able to like get all that stuff done. So when it came time to like ACT, SAT and all that, girl, I was stressed because I wasn't the best test taker and I felt like I read slow. I like, especially the reading and the language arts, like portions, like stress. Anyways, that's a side topic, but so it was time to apply for colleges and I applied to all these different universities in my state and I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to audition for, I didn't want to continue dance because I felt like I was unworthy. Like I felt like this body was unworthy to be a professional or dancer, like seek dance in any way. Like I genuinely thought I was unworthy. I don't know how, like I mean that with the words of what unworthiness is. Like I would be so negative towards my body image. Like I was like, you're unworthy. Like to do this, and I was like counting calories. I was just like restricting, like I was just being like not myself. And I just remember that fall and even like a little bit of that spring was such a hard time when I was graduating college. So I randomly, one of my friends was auditioning at KSU, or sorry, she was in the show at KSU. And I was like, oh, I'm going to just like go watch her because that's my friend. So we went to the show and I remember being blown away. It was such a different world. Like they did a ballet piece and then like all these artsy contemporary concert works. And I was like, whoa, I've literally never seen anything like this. So I actually made me really excited. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try an audition for KSU and see like what it's like. And I didn't think that I would make it. I didn't think anything of it. And I auditioned on the last audition that they had for their dance majors before like the next school year. And I made it. I literally made it. I remember that day so clearly. I was like so nervous, but I walked in so confident and I was just like, this is what I want. And I made it as a dance major. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to double major dance and business. And then I eventually dropped business and now I'm only doing dance, but I literally did like half of my business major. I just like, that's like another story of why I dropped it. But I just felt like this calling for dance and just taking dance seriously and just like pursuing it fully and all of it. So I auditioned for the company my freshman year of college. I got in and it was like this first time that I ever felt valued as a dancer. And I still was restricting and I was in this like hard mindset with like my body and like artistry and stuff, but it was the first time that I felt seen as a dancer fully. And I was like, wow, this is so exciting. And I just like learned a whole new perspective on dance because this was like concert dance and also like dance with like technique. And I felt so grateful for my competitive background in dance, but then also like I was so excited to learn Gaga and improv and like choreography and just like film and just like what concert dance was. And then also like the technique of ballet. Like I dance majored and I graduated with a ballet concentration, but all the company dances that I was in was contemporary. So it was really awesome, or like modern, I guess, to like have both sides. And we also took like hip hop and tap and like all these other styles and pedagogy, and just it was just the best time ever. And I'm so grateful for my time at my university because it really just like expanded my brain to like a whole other level and inspired me to start SOMOS. And just I am just so grateful for that time. And also in college I was introduced to the Catholic Center. So I would go to the Catholic Center. I met so many amazing young people who were Catholic and they were so kind and amazing. So I just like, it really instilled this like awesome identity of finding your purpose through Christ and then finding your like just a different voice and just like, oh, it was just so fun. And I just loved it so much. And this is just your reminder that sometimes hard decisions, like my middle school self, like making that decision to change studios was so huge for me. And now the job that I work is literally because I made connections and like I always showed up for like my dance and everything like at that age because my mom was so like disciplined. Work, like you're not missing dance. Okay, sorry if this looks different, but my camera battery literally died in the middle of my sentence and I was trying to like hurry up and finish, but I had to wait. I actually don't remember what I was saying. I think I was at the part where I'm in college. I'm loving life. I love this new journey for dance and like this like whole new language. And it was really awesome because I felt so confident in my like commercial dance styles, like growing up in terms of like hip hop, jazz, and like things like that. Like I really feel, and I'm so grateful for my time at my competitive dance studio because it really instilled so much growth and dedication, and we learned so many different dance styles. We had so many amazing different teachers come in. Like I'm so grateful for that studio and like those directors and those teachers who really helped me and like helped all the students there like expand their minds and just like really push outside of our own limits. So then when I got to university, learning this whole other language of dance, like the freedom of it, and like seeing how like I feel like commercial and competitive dance is like very like more of the sport, like the sport of dance, and concert dance is like the art of dance. So being able to feel confident in both like the commercial, like competitive side of things, and then learning how to value the concert style. And I feel like that's just really informed who I am to this day and how I approach teaching a class, how I approach having my company, how I approach just like life in general, and seeing the beauty of working hard and being able to like go to a technique class, go into your workout class, and just like doing it for the ability of like the technique of it. And then also going like on a walk and choreography and just like appreciating life and like even movie and videography and like films for the art of it. I feel like it's just really intertwined my brain in such a beautiful way. And even like how I was saying earlier, the identity of having to like separate for me the American dance culture and then also like my Mexican dance culture, and now being so confident in who I am and just being like, okay, this is who I am as a dance teacher, and I'm Mexican and nothing's gonna take that away from me. But I also am born and raised in America, and I love this country too, and I can show up and be confident in who I am. Like I'm literally speaking in English right now. Like I'm just a Southern girl too, which is like so funny. And I feel like as bicultural identities or just like immigrant families and stuff, like you have this like constant like, I don't know, like some people say, or like Becky G always says that like we're 200%ers, which is true. Like we're 100% American and 100% like whatever culture. And like for me, it's Mexican. And it's really awesome because I feel like with my dance identity and like having that growth and like that perspective and just like that, those challenges have really helped me. Okay, can I be so for real? I am so sorry because every time I talk on my podcast, I realize how much like and just like how much I repeat myself. So if it's annoying you, I'm so sorry. I'm really aware of it, and I'm trying so hard to like grow my vocabulary so I don't sound so like like. But also like I'm just a girl, you know, I'm just having a fun time. So yeah, I'm learning and I'm trying to like be more intellectual with those things, but also like I'm just trying to have fun and not take things so seriously. Okay. Anyway, so my dance identity has been really so informative for how I carry myself in this life. And at the end of the day, I'm a Christian Catholic girl, and I am the daughter of Christ, and that's what my identity is. And because of his love for us, like we're able to do so much, and I'm able to dance, and he put this talent in me and like this passion in me since I was like literally in the womb to dance, because he knew that it was going to help me and it was going to be fruitful for my own experience, having this like, you know, identity of like living in America, being from immigrant parents, like Mexican American, and how that separation is actually unnecessary. Like I don't have to separate myself. Like, okay, like today, like, and they used to call me Angelita at dance. Like that was how they would say it. My name's Angelita. The G is an H sound, and it literally means little angel in Spanish. Angelita. Angelita. And when I was at dance, like I was Angelita, and at school I was Mimi. Like I was never Angelita. And now I don't mind. Like you can either say Angelita or Mimi, but like not really. Angelita's not really my favorite. But it was like now as I've matured and grown and like really truly like found my identity in Christ, it's helped me so much to just be like, oh, I can be all things right now here where I'm at. Like I don't have to separate myself to be like, okay, here I have to have straight hair and I have to look like this and I have to be like this, and here I have to look like this and speak like this and be like this. Like no, like you can be who you are right now at like, and you're fully worthy and you're fully it. Like it is what it is, and like in just like a positive way, you know? My passion and my growth with my identity and like this just so many different complex, like I feel like I have so many sides to myself, and I just want to let everyone in on this like beautiful world of accepting all different sides of you and all different like communities. Like I have my church friends and I have my dance friends, and then I have like my Mexican friends, and I have my cousins, and I have my family, and I have my husband, like all these different aspects of like so many beautiful and amazing people that I have in my life. And just me being the same girl, like I'm the same girl in all of these different places. And I feel like before I would maybe like shut certain parts of me out and be like, okay, here I can't talk about aventura, here I can talk about aventura, here I can't talk about this, or and obviously like you can't relate to everybody. So like if somebody doesn't know aventura, like they're just like not gonna get it, but the people that get it. So obviously I'm not just like pushing myself onto like whatever, like B, but finding the way of not being ashamed of who I am, because at the end of the day, I am a daughter of Christ, and he's gave me so many different amazing opportunities to like be 100% whole. And I say, and I believe that as immigrants, we're seriously the most lucky, blessed people ever. Like the fact that I don't only get my American culture and my Mexican culture, but I also get to experience all these other amazing cultures around. Like it's just so cool because my home is Mexican and my outside, like where I go, is American, but also like there are other Mexican Americans like me who get to experience, and like Arab Americans and this American and that American and like Hispanic, and like just so many different amazing cultures and identities that we get to experience in the United States. And I don't know, I think it's so fun. And not even just in the United States, like when I lived in Madrid, everybody's different cultures. Like so many people are from different, like there's so many from Argentina, Uruguay, so people from Mexico, people from like different parts of Spain, Italy, like literally so many, France, like so many different countries and cultures all around the world. And it's so cool that we get to experience it. And just, I don't know, it makes me so happy and so excited. And that's just like the identity and like the thesis that I have like now teaching and like with the companies that I'm starting and like growing. Like I just want us all to embrace every part of ourselves under the eyes of God, and just being like, thank you, God, for allowing me to see all these different identities and cultures, and just help me to be the best version of myself that you call for me to be. And thank you for letting me to be able to experience like dance like in my kitchen with banda and salsa, and then also like ballet at like class, and hip hop, and even African, like just so many different amazing styles, and like improv, and just it's so amazing and so exciting. So this is my tangent of dance, and I hope that you see yourself in some sort of way that feels full and worthy, because you are. And I hope that you're having an amazing and blessed day, and I will see you next week. And also happy start of the World Cup, because girl, I'm so excited. Vamos Mexico. Okay, peace and love. Somos the podcast.